I actually thought about doing like a Fox and Friends drag show because I wanted to be Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Wait, that would kind of be
Please! And I
low
wanted to
key.
do Body by Megan Thee Stallion because of what Jasmine Crockett said to her.
This is an example that you need to listen to
Please.
yourself of nothing is too much.
Nothing
Because
is too much.
hey, hi, hello, and welcome to the Queer Vision Pod. I am one of the co-founders here at Queerolina, Coe Star, better known as Coe of Kanekalon. This is the other co-founder.
Hi, I'm Becca.
We are the Queer Vision Pod. Today we sat down with Buttons the Clown. She's wild, she's raunchy. There is a real deep-hearted person underneath. Don't let them fool you. They are an amazing entertainer here in North Carolina and have created the B-Side Circus, which is their little clown family. Go check them out on Instagram. And yeah, a little bit of an 18 plus trigger warning on this one. We get some towards the end, but not much. PG-13.
Yeah, it's not
18 plus. Hello. Thank you for sitting down with us today, Buttons.
Of course, I love sitting down.
Me too. Today we're here with Buttons, very fun drag artist and clown in the Triangle area. So usually we just kind of just go in with the basics and we're just like, give us a little spiel, like who is Buttons? Where did Buttons come from? And yeah, just tell us a little about you, what you want the people to know.
Well, I hope they already know me, and if they don't, they better. So I'm Buttons. I am located in Raleigh, North Carolina. I am North Carolina native, so I was born down in Sanford, and I went to school in Charlotte, and now I'm back in Raleigh. Buttons herself is the Carolina Cream Pie Clown Queen. You can make up what that means by yourself if you need to. I started as a haunt actor and moved into cosplaying, and now I do drag, burlesque, and other stuff.
Period. So I know a little bit of like your background, but like what kind of brought you into drag? Like how did that all start for you? Or how did I guess the Buttons character kind of evolve for you?
So when I was 13, in the ripe year of 2013, I was unsupervised on Tumblr. And as most of us were, and I and my ex at the time were like, oh my God, we should be clowns. And I just had always had an attachment to clowns. Like my mom is a huge Rob Zombie fan. So House of a Thousand Corpses is like a really like near and dear to me series. Mm-hmm. And I watched it growing up. Like I was just super immersed in this world. And so we made Stitches and Buttons were our clowns. And she just kind of grew from there. And I started haunt acting when I was 15 into all the way up till I was 21. And I just couldn't stop with her. Like I wanted her to really be something quite the opposite of myself. She represents, kind of in my daily life, I'm like a very gothic boy who just kind of like listens to The Cure and like cries in his car. And so I made Buttons to be this like very dramatic and insane kind of pink fluff ball.
I love that. Like, and I also like, that's one of the things that I love about, I don't know, just entertainment in general, being able to have like that persona that you're able to like put on and really build that character. Something that I feel like I don't know, like I feel like I have a character, but it's also so much of me. So that's something that I'm still like working on, maybe like separating the two more. Because there is something like kind of powerful and freeing in that nature to be able to do that.
I mean, definitely. Like, I think when I'm in, I really say she doesn't start until the wig's on. Mm-hmm. Once the pink wig on, I'm her. I look in the mirror and I'm like, that's a different person than like I will ever be. And mm-hmm. I evolved her from being kind of a scary-ish, like insane doll type character into like the pop princess, into like the Regina George. So mm-hmm. It's been like a uphill battle. And I don't ever want people to think that I actually act like Regina George. I do. But I kind of have this guard up that I really enjoy. So when I'm performing as her, you know, she has all these elements to her, but we do share a lot of elements. We are both funny. We both enjoy, you know, kind of gore and filth. So we do kind of have this Venn diagram of me and Buttons. We aren't completely separate people, but we aren't the same person either. So when I leave the venue or when I'm, you know, not in character, it doesn't feel as heavy as like, oh, I don't act like this all the time. I promise. I promise I don't beg for money.
But I love that about, like, I don't know, just your drag character in general. I think you are part of the reason that audiences love being bullied. Honestly, like,
I hope so.
like, you are one of the top contributors, and I live for that because, listen, I hold the belief that people at a drag show love to be told what to do, and you do that so well on stage, and I just admire it. Um, yeah. Oh my god, my brain went blank.
10 hours later.
I need to take the meds, girl.
Yeah, it's okay. It's whatever.
I have pills for you. Don't worry.
So, what was your like start then? Did you start with drag or did you start with burlesque? Which one did you start with?
So I started with cosplaying, haunt, drag, burlesque was kind of like the evolution.
Mm-hmm.
I had always been super interested in kind of all of those items. And when I was 18, I was in my first drag show at my college that I attended. And it was just like, because this was right before COVID, mind you. And I was just like, this, not to sound like a theater kid. I do have my BFA, but it was just this like, this is what I want to do. This is what I enjoy doing. And I like threw I did Cannibal by Kesha, as I should have. And I threw Sour Patch Kids like into the audience, and like there was just so much laughter and joy in that. And I was like, if I can keep creating this, that'd be awesome. And then COVID hit. And so then, you know, we all kind of shifted our views. And then when I moved to Raleigh, I was like, I can't keep her in her little doll box for the rest of my life. Like there has to be something. And so we started going to Glitter Hour. And I looked at Backstage and I was like, we need to do this. Like there is no way that I'm just going to sit here and be a spectator.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
That is really cute.
Honestly, like, shows like that were really what helped me as well. Just be like, I don't know, it's something like, I feel like you see, you know, one form of drag a lot, and it's getting better, but like on TV, especially, like you see one kind of drag, and then you go out to more of a local show, and it's like, oh wow, like I can actually just do whatever the fuck I want on this stage, and nobody's gonna stop me. And that was something that was really liberating for me at first as well, just to be able to be like, I can actually do that. Was that ever anything that, like, were you ever kind of hesitant in that? Like, did you ever have any sense of like stage fright or anything that kind of stopped you? Or have you always been that kind of person that's like, girl, give me the stage?
Like growing up in theater, I think I definitely have like adapted, but the theater world and the drag world, while similar, are also a lot different. Theater is a lot of instruction. It's very direct. It's very, this is how you should be saying these lines. This is how you should be dancing, because it's, you know, curated. So then when I entered the drag world, like you said, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I was, you know, I was watching these queens. I was watching Drag Race at the time and Dragula. And so I'm consuming all of this content as well as local drag shows. And I go, why can't I do this? Like, what is stopping me? And then I got on stage for the first time and I was shaking so terribly I thought I had hypothermia, despite it being the middle of summer. But I think it's natural to have stage fright, and I think it can make it more exciting, because then you go, well, then I need to make sure that these people have the best time of their life. It's a motivator. It's not necessarily a hindrance if you just shift your view on. If you can go, I can make these people have fun, laugh, cry, come, whatever, then that's what I'm going to do. And mine are always all of them at once. My goal is always all of them at once.
I love And I love that about you, though, too. And I think that's what makes you such a great entertainer is, I think there's like this balance with entertainment that, like, between art and like doing like art and also having that connection with the audience, right? And I can definitely see that a lot of it, whilst you have the art element already down, it's like, okay, that's already been created and like curated, and it almost feels like it's in the back of your pocket. And it seems like, at least from what you've said and like just seeing you perform, that like your main focus is like on that audience piece and like having that connection with the audience, which is really powerful. And I think a lot of people struggle with that a lot. You're welcome. No, but
How'd
like,
you know I have a praise kink?
but no, I just, yeah, because even like with me sometimes, like I definitely feel like, whilst I love connecting with people, I'm such an artist at heart. Like I still feel like sometimes I get in my own head and forget, like, wait, although this is my art, I'm also doing this for the people, or I wouldn't be on this stage in front of these people. Like it is about connection. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you do a brilliant job at connecting. I always feel drawn to you, but that's just
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
So you said you have a Bachelor in Fine Arts. What have you learned from that, or what are you doing with that today?
So I think people assume that when you have some sort of art degree, especially a theater degree, that it's seen as useless because, you know, if you're not on Broadway, you're not doing it. And even with doing drag, it's helped me learn to connect with other people. And it's helped me learn how to speak with other people in like a fluent manner in and out of drag. Because when you approach the scene and you're the new kid, I think the knowledge of like we are all nerds in wigs, like in theater, we are all just theater kids sitting in a circle playing zip zap zop. That really like helps you connect with other people and be like, okay, yes, this is a job for some people. Yes, this is a hobby. Yes, people have been doing this for a decade. They've been doing it for a year. This is their first time on stage. Having the education goes, yes, you have been doing it for X amount of time. And yes, you will always be improving. But also, we're just all in this together. Like we all go home, we all listen to our lines and our music, and we all sit there in our living room doing jazz squares until we pass out. And also educationally, technically, it has helped me become a better drag mother, I think. And it's helped me kind of curate the circus as it is and curate what it means to be in a circus compared to like a traditional drag house, because I take a lot of pride in nurturing and teaching on top of performing. I don't want, I don't want to get 5 years down the line and them only think of me as a performer. I want to be known as a teacher and a mentor who has powdered baby kings, things, and queens to be where they want to be too. So when my old ass retires, I at least have people who know that like I did them a service. Like they know that I wanted the best for them and that I wasn't there to just be in the spotlight with them.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that. Like, and I think that's, I don't know, I think that definitely is a challenge for some people, it can be. But I think when you're able to take a step back and be like, oh, I have this spotlight, but let me shift it to somebody else for a few seconds and kind of share whatever wisdom I do have. That's really powerful. And also like just having the confidence and assurance in yourself to be like, you know what? I do know things and I am good at what I do. So let me share that with somebody and nurture them. Yeah. You should be proud. Not me just like praising you the whole time. I don't know what to say.
No, that is really nice though, because like I feel like there is, whether it doesn't really matter what your education is in, there's always people that are like, well, you're a threat to me, right? Like the people that are coming up where it's like, yeah, I'm here for you, but really I'm not going to mentor you because that means you're going to take my spot away. And I think it's so important for everyone, not just in the drag world, but like it doesn't matter if you're a freaking doctor, engineer, it doesn't matter. Like you should be wanting the next set of people to have better opportunities than you had, so that you can see everything thrive even more. Because like if they don't have to work as hard to know this information, then they can figure out this information that helps the entire community move up. And so like that's really nice that it's like not necessarily taking a spotlight away from you or like sharing the spotlight, even it's widening it at this point. So that is really nice. Is there like a piece of advice that you would give to somebody who is jumping into the drag world or the burlesque world that's just like a generic, because obviously you don't know who they are, but like, do you have a piece of advice that you would give anybody right now?
I would say always give it your all. Never half-ass anything. Also, always have the best intentions for people, even if that's not always reciprocated. Because you know in your heart that you're kind and you can go out in the world and share your art and share your love. And even if that's not reciprocated either immediately or by certain people, that is not your problem, and you need to continue sharing your art. Because at this point, and I mentioned this earlier today to one of my friends, not to be like that on a very happy podcast, but like queer people are being hunted. Like we are at a spot where we are being hunted for sport, essentially by the government, by our neighbors. We're not always safe. And so the more we can spread to other people that, hey, this is safe. This is a safe space. These are safe people. I'm not going to, I'm going to make sure that I have the best in you. If you can copy that and mirror that, that will get you further than any technical skill you can learn. Anyone can learn to dance. Anyone can learn how to sing. You can take voice lessons all day. But if you do not have good intentions, then you might as well not do drag, or because all you're going to do is spread hatred and all you're going to do is spread ill intentions. And that's not what any of us need as queer people right now.
Why? Because you are a mean girl. You're a bitch.
Yeah. That.
We've been feeling
very
that.
The infighting in the queer community is crazy. And something that I wish would just we could just be done with and all communicate properly. But as any big group of people, it happens. It's bound to. But yeah, I definitely agree and just like echo that.
I mean, you should get good face makeup. Like, what do you? I think people, want the shallow answers a lot of the time when they're starting this. They want to know the best foundation. They want to know, the best company to get wigs from. What you need to do is be your best self. Whether that be like, oh, I'm gonna do live singing because like that's what I want to share with the world. That's great, girl. Get up there, be Ariana.
Yeah.
As long as you're also being like, I want people to feel the music. I want people to, like when we were doing Alt Pride the other day and Nebula was singing, I started tearing up. I was like, I can't ruin my makeup. But like that music means so much to me, and I love seeing it mean so much to them, especially with like the lyric changes. Like, I don't know, there's something about that just welled up in me, and I love seeing other people share their art. Like and that should be the advice going forward is share your art, share your love, share your good energy, because at this point, that's all we have.
No, yeah, very that. Like, and that's so me at a drag show too. Like, I don't know. I'm always that like girl in the corner. I'm just like smiling at everybody because I just fucking love drag so much, and I love seeing everybody perform. And like even in event producing, just like sitting back and being able to actually see the numbers, I'm like, yeah, these bitches are talented and just doing their own thing. Like you went up there and chugged I don't know how much milk.
So it was a quart.
Oh God.
It was a quart of milk. And that's what I'm saying is like drag doesn't always have to be like deep and artistic either. Yeah. I very much view, especially clowning, as like I'm the court jester. I am just entertaining to distract from whatever the fuck's going on outside. Like, you're watching me chug milk, so you're gonna feel happy, horny, maybe a little worried for at least 2 minutes.
No, I think I'll never forget how you were like, I'm gonna show you why you booked me, and then goes and chugs so much milk, and I was like, yeah.
No, but that's so important because I feel like, I mean, Chloe and I have talked about it a lot together, and then just on the podcast as well, of like, I think not only is our existence political, but like our joy is the biggest resistance that we have. Like we can't change the laws. We can't change the bigots. We can only change ourselves. And the only way that we can survive this is by enjoying our lives. And the only way that we're not going to take ourselves out is by feeling love from the people around us. And so how can we fix this? We can give love to other people. And so like hearing you say like, don't expect it to be reciprocated, just give, give to people, because it will come back. Like it eventually will, whether it's from that person or somebody else. Like joy is the biggest resistance. So like, though I would probably throw up seeing you chug milk, that is really funny.
Oh my god. No, and it's also like time and place too, right? Like I think, you know, there's a time and place for everything, and just being able to know like what you bring to the space. I feel like I had more of a point with what I was saying. But I don't know. Sometimes it's time to chug milk on stage for an audience full of people, and sometimes it's time to cry, and sometimes it's time to shake ass, and we all have our different roles, and sometimes it's all of them.
Shake ass while crying and chugging milk. Got it.
Okay.
On it.
Remember just
So me and Buttons have a duo number coming now.
Yes.
I'm gonna cry, shake ass, and drink milk.
No, you need a third person. One person cries, one person chugs milk, and one person shakes their ass.
Okay.
All right, so we have a trio number. Fantastic. Which one do you want, girl?
Fuck no. Actually, I would be the one crying watching you chug milk. So
She just there and cry. She also hates being on stage. That's why she's the more logistical brain of the operation.
my brain goes like this whenever I'm on stage. I like immediately like I like talking. I love it. And then I get on stage and I'm like
Yeah.
and then I leave. Until Nebula pulls me back up. Because she's an asshole. But I love her.
Very bad. So you said you grew up in Sanford, North Carolina. So that's right outside of Charlotte, right?
So it is actually an hour south of here, Raleigh.
Okay.
It is. So it used to be like a little rinky-dinky trailer park town, but all of a sudden, people threw up luxury apartments because people can't afford to live here anymore. So they're moving to Sanford because it's right off US 1. But when I was growing up, it was just a really like rinky-dinky, like we had a bowling alley, which is where I spent most of my childhood, and like a trailer park, and like $3 Generals. And then when we got a Walmart when I was 12, I was like, oh my god, big city living.
So how do you feel like living in a smaller city? How do you think that's like, I guess, affected your viewpoint on like either community or like city life? Do you feel like there's any of that small town that you kind of like bring in?
So I think with small towns, I think people love, especially southern small towns, people love to be like, oh, them there hicks, they don't know nothing about nothing. But like, I think when everyone knows each other, it can also be a little easier. Like when I came out, when I was a teenager, I originally came out as bisexual. And I faced little to no backlash for that. And because everyone already knew me, they knew I was like this weird goth kid. So I think people weren't really surprised. And now like living as like someone who identifies as like queer and genderqueer and just queer in general, living in the big city, it's like, well, of course no one's surprised. But I think I bring the small townness of wanting tightness and wanting, there's also this idea that like security in numbers versus security in isolation. Like if you live out in the middle of nowhere, no one's going to mess with you because you live, a mile away from the nearest person. So there's safety in that. But in the city, it's safety in numbers. We all kind of live on top of each other, but there's a bigger community. Sanford just had its first Pride event this past year. And I was super like, it was bittersweet because a part of me was like, why couldn't that have been me when I was younger? Like, why couldn't I couldn't have had that. But also I know drag artists from Sanford who come up and do stuff here now. And it's like, I'm so glad that you guys have that. Like, it is so, you guys are so, I'm so happy for you. I'm so glad you guys created the space that like 13-year-old me couldn't, because there's probably another 13-year-old goth gay kid at high school now experiencing pride for the first time and feeling that. And so that's more important to me than anything that I could have asked for as a child, is that other people have that. So I want to bring the small townness of community, and that I know we throw that word around a lot as queer people, but when I say community, I mean you find your friend group and you protect them at all cost.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you find your people. Everyone has a niche. Everyone has people that they're surrounded with. And that's why I wanted to make the circus what it was that this isn't a drag house. You are not obligated to stay with us. You are not obligated to do this thing and that thing and this thing. My job as the matriarch of the circus is to ensure that you have a place where you feel nurtured, safe, and loved to express the art that you so want to do. No matter what, whether that's chugging milk, whether that is doing an entire split on stage where your pants rip, whether that means you are doing a very artistic number that like only really you're going to get, but you need to do that number. Mm-hmm. You know, whatever that means, I don't care, but I want you to have a space where you feel like you're allowed to do that. And mm-hmm. the saying that we've come up with for the circus is, you can come and you can go, but you better come before you go.
I see. I think I know what you're really craving.
Because I want to give someone the experience, the euphoria of feeling love. Even if they choose never to perform with us but one time. That's great. We are glad to have you. And for our reoccurring members, you know, we've built this universe. We built this entire lore around the circus. Like, we have lore that is written out in fan fictions. It's...
Love that.
You know, and I could not ask for a better group of people to, like, do that with. Like, thank you for indulging my autism. In like having, in like needing like deep-seated lore, because I have built buttons from the ground up for a decade, over a decade. I had not had anyone to share this with, but like me in my room, like by myself with my little clown OC. And now suddenly I have 6 other people that want to do it with me. And now I have people like you and like Nebula and like Ruby LaCour who have given me chances to like show that off to people. And it's a feeling that if I think about it too much, I want to cry, because I'm a Pisces. I want everyone to know that I'm a Pisces. I think it's obvious. So I talk about crying like quite a bit.
What are your other 2 in your big 3?
I'm a Pisces double Virgo.
Wow.
Which means I have never like sat down, shut up, and taken a breath. Clearly. Of course, I love sitting down.
I love you.
Yeah, this is a Virgo right here.
I'm a Virgo.
I'm trying not to show my nails too much because they're kind of ugly right now. I got the like butch nails going on.
It's okay. Same. You're fine. I did have a couple questions. So, well, one comment is it's totally valid to look at somebody experiencing something that you never got to experience and to feel that. Like, you are allowed to mourn the things that you were never allowed to experience. You were allowed to mourn the things that like you didn't let yourself experience or didn't know that you could experience. Like, that's totally valid. And I think that's like, as long as you're not taking it out on somebody else, it's important to acknowledge that, because then you can see how important it is to give it to somebody else or to make sure that there is space for somebody else. So like, yeah, like I look back and like, I didn't know I was bisexual until I was later on in college. So like there was a whole life that I didn't get to live whenever I was younger, right? And that's something I missed out on, just like you missed out on the pride experience in your hometown. But like now we know that for other people. We know that we need to show out for other people. The other is, you want to share your fan fictions? Because like I'll put them in the magazine. 1000%.
So I have we have a Discord server and a Google Drive.
Yes.
And I don't know if they're okay with me naming who else is writing and drawing fan fiction. But basically I and another member will write it, and then one of our other members will draw it. Some of them are safe for work and some of them aren't. But we've kind of, you know, just, I will send you some. I used to write a lot, and it was something that meant a lot to me. Like, it's one of my other hobbies. And so having the circus has kind of built that up again. Like, oh, I should be writing. Now I have inspiration to write. When, you know, a few months ago I had no inspiration to do anything really except this and like go to my day job, which is
I also wanted to say, like, on like just the way you were talking about, you know, building up the circus and like finding your group of people and protecting them. I think that's where it comes, the difference between like community and like cliques, right? Because I think the difference is like when you have community, it's like you said, here's this space that I'm offering, and I, you know, I see you want to do XYZ, like, oh, you come and do your thing that you do best, instead of being like, oh, it has to fit this mold, or like you can't sit with us, you can't talk to us, you can't. And it's never felt that way with any of you, and I really appreciate that. And I think that is where that line really sits, for a lot of people. So I just wanted to say that. But,
like, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, and we're clowns, right? Like literally, I am a clown. So why do I have the place to judge other people? Why do I have the place to judge other people's drag? Unless I am quite literally giving constructive criticism for a competition, I have no reason to look at someone and be like, oh, you're like, do I play the Regina George character? Yes. But again, that's not how I actually feel or act in real life. And I have no reason to do that, because all I want to do, and I said this when we first started doing the circus, when it was just like me and Backstitch, is I was like, I just want people to go, I want people to look at us and go, I could probably do that. Maybe not chugging the milk, but like, I might be able to get on stage and like, you know, another piece of advice that I just saw that I should have talked about earlier is like, do what you know. Like, I believe that with art in general is like doing what you know. Like, because the first song I ever performed to was Cannibal by Kesha, because that's a song that I heavily associated with Buttons. And Kesha is still an artist that I heavily associate with her, you know, the like trashy pop, like sleazy kind of thing. And so that's the first one I did. And I felt really good about it. And then when I got here, I did it again because I was like, well, I know the song. I like the song. I know how Buttons would feel during the song. So like I did it. And, you know, since then I've done a lot more like pop music, even though like that's not what I usually listen to. So my Spotify Wrapped is going to be fucked this year.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I love that I don't know. I love that about you. That there's such like the stark differences though. Like there's something so beautiful in the duality.
I get it. I get a lot of, cause people approach Backstitch because he, you know, he looks kind of similar, and they'll approach him and they're like, oh, where's Buttons? And I'll be out of drag and be like, they're right here. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh, I didn't know. And I'm like, good. Thank you. Because I don't know, I love her so much and she's such a huge part of me, but there's something about her that I just want to keep. I want people to almost feel like she's that girl in high school that like you have a crush on, but she's really mean to you, and that's why you think you have a crush on her, and you're going through like this weird queer awakening and you're not quite sure what's going on, and she insults you and it kind of turns you on, but it kind of makes you sad, you know.
That's funny. That's almost like I mean, not the personality portion, but like it just reminds me of Dolly Parton, where like if you see her walking around, like so many people are like, I would never recognize Dolly Parton if you meet her on the street, right? Because she puts herself in drag every single time she's out. So like that's, I guess I like there's a non-queer person that is doing the same thing for a similar reason. It's a stage name at this point for her, but
that was cute. The biggest compliment ever. I love Dolly Parton. Like I just, you know, I want people to see Buttons and they feel good. Like I you know, well, I used to want people to be scared, but I want people to feel like they have a big sister and that they have someone that they can look at and go, what makeup do I use? What, without feeling ashamed of being like, hey, I'm just starting to do this. Like what the hell do I do? Where do I go? What event should I be attending? Who should I be talking to? Because I don't want people to ever feel ashamed of wanting to do drag, especially clowning. Because like it's such a huge, like I know I'm not going to talk shit about the younger, you know, the youngins on TikTok, but like they definitely have like changed what clowning is and like as most things on TikTok, you know, it's kind of changed the definition of clowning and like what it means to be a clown and like the look and what you can do with it. But I want people to not be like worried about doing like weird shit. I don't want people to be like, oh, well, I don't know if this is too much. It's never too much.
Yeah.
It is never too much. And if it feels like too much, it's probably the right amount. There's this like theory in like theater school that like if you're enunciating too much, if you feel yourself enunciating, you're singing correctly. Is that true? Beth Murray, my love, my teacher, my former professor, please don't kill me. Is it true? That's debatable. But like that's how I feel about drag is like if you think it's too much, that means you're probably gonna make me laugh. You're gonna impress me. Which is not everything, you know, don't work to impress another person. But I love seeing interesting stuff. I love seeing stuff I've never seen before. Like when Backstitch first brought up the like stapling thing to me, I was like, well, there's no one who ever has done that here. Let's do it. Let's see what is the safe way to do it. Like, and you know, I've been told a lot, and it's very humbling to hear that like I've never seen someone do clowns like this before here in Raleigh, and like it just starstrucks me every time because I'm like, why are you complimenting me like that? Like, I'm you know, like I was getting in my car after Alt Pride, and this guy, you know, the entire time was super invested in all of our numbers. And so I called him over and I was like, hey, thank you for being here. Like, thank you for coming to see us. Like, it means a lot. And he was like, you are like an inspiration to me. Like, I don't want to do drag. He goes, but you just, I don't know. You just light up everything. And you know, I'm like sweaty. I have, you know, 10 pounds of milk in my tummy and my wig has come off and I'm sitting in like my Honda Fit, like shaking. And I was like, this is why I do this. Like, this is like, even though I'm sweaty, my stomach hurts. Half my makeup's off. My lashes come off. My wig's off. You know, my feet hurt. That's why I just spent the last 3 hours doing this. Because one person was like, I love you.
That is honestly something that like, I think like we've gotten that a couple times because we started this, right? And so like, it's honestly weird to experience because I feel like we are just normal people, so we're not doing anything, you know what I mean, but we are doing something. And I think that's something that like I think everyone needs to recognize is that like there is always somebody looking at you from the outside that is impressed by something or that was helped by something or that like looks up to you in some way and you don't realize it because you see your life as normal. So you're like, well, I did that's of course I'd react that way because like duh. And then other people are like, oh my gosh, you treated me fairly or like, you know what I mean? And so like obviously you, because you are on stage, are going to get more people talking to you about it and communicating to you about it. But like to anybody that's listening, like if you're not getting those compliments, it doesn't mean that they're not there. Like you are not just yourself. You are also like and you are encompassing of everybody that you've met. And so you're taking those things in and you are sharing them in the same way that everybody is seeing you and taking that in. So like everyone's special. And like, this is just really cool to see that like you are experiencing it, like as somebody you've created, but like, that's really important.
Like, it's really interesting for me to like experience that now because I, you know, so when I started doing drag, because I've only been doing this for like a year and a half, like drag. Like I have not been doing drag. Like I did the drag show at UNC Charlotte and then didn't do drag for 5 years because of COVID. And so when I started doing it here in Raleigh, the first glitter hour I went to, I saw Mixcreant and Jack Awful, and I was enamored. I just mean enamored. I was like, these people have to be in my circus now. And I didn't even have a circus at this point. But it's when you watch other people and go, you have potential. You have star quality. Because there are just people out there who have it. Coe has it. Nebula has it. Mix and Jack have it. Ruby LaCour has it. Like, there are just certain artists that I see and I go, you need to be bigger than Raleigh. Like, people have to see your art. And even if someone never compliments me again or never praises my drag again, that's okay with me because I've already built what I needed to do. Like, I've already you know, I kind of came to this conclusion that like, even if I retire in like 5, 10, 15, 25, 35 years, I've done my piece. I've done numbers that are artsy. I've done numbers that are almost scandalous, you know. And as long as people are viewing them and going, hell, they don't have to like it. They go, that was interesting. I'm satisfied. I'm happy. Because that's all. I just want people to feel not like the world is ending for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
That is my entire goal. That's my brand. That's what Buttons pushes. Is there's this quote from this musical. I know I keep bringing up musicals. You can tell I gotta be a fan.
I love it.
But there's this quote from my favorite musical, Falsettos, where the character goes, you feel all right for 10 minutes. You feel all right for 10 minutes. You feel all right for 20 minutes. And he keeps going until he's like, you feel all right for the rest of your life. And that's how I want my drag to be. Like, if you can feel good for the 5 minutes I'm on stage, great. And then if you can feel good for another 10 minutes while you watch other performers, then you're at the club for an hour. Well, that's an hour of your life that you aren't worrying about anything. Mm-hmm. You know, and I want to always kickstart that feeling and continue it as long as I can for other people, because that's how I feel in drag. Because that 5 minutes that I'm on stage, I'm not thinking about anything about what's going on. It's just, fuck, I need to get this milk down. Fuck, I need to shake my ass right now. Fuck, I need to remember my words. My costume's tight. My feet hurt. You know, like.
Very that. And honestly, like, I think you're so good at branding. And I think that's something that anybody listening should take from this. And even like just sitting here listening to you talk, like you've got my like creative little engines firing off. I'm like, ooh, I need to think about my branding more. Ooh, let me like do this and this. I don't know. Like, it's just like, and as a person who loves branding, it's just, I love to hear people talk about it. And I love all the thought that's like went into Buttons and you curating that.
Like, branding does mean a lot to me because I push this character so hard. And I've just built her for so long that I, you know, like everything. Buttons has favorite stores. She has favorite artists. She has, you know, I bet you can't guess her favorite color. Like, you know, I have gone down to like, I have a folder for like voices that I think that she sounds like in different scenarios. So like she has the Paris Hilton syndrome, you know. Yeah, I'm so smart. But like in reality, she is like this evil mastermind. Like she is in fact manipulating you to like hand her dollars. Even if like when you talk to her, she's like, yeah, I love Forever 21. You know, that's, and you know, like I have like cups specifically dedicated for her. Like she really does run my life. And but I try to do that so that people, again, and I want like girls, like not even girls. I say girls in the like, I want girls, I want dolls. I want people to look at Buttons and go, I can also be a mean cunt. I can also beat pathetic men. Like, I want people to see her as like this, like strong, you know, bitch who like they can look up to and be like, yeah, well, if she can kick her husband on stage, so can I.
I live. So I guess as we're like getting closer to that hour mark, was there anything that you wanted to touch on that we haven't really spoke about?
I just like talking about experiences. I feel like the one way to ensure that you are successful as an artist, not just a drag artist, but like any artist, is that you hold your experiences close to you. Like you do not, because if it hadn't been for drag, I would not have the friends I have. I would not, you know, I would not have some of the experiences I've had wouldn't have affected me so much, both positive and negative. You know, it's not all, you know, rainbows and poppers, but you have to take both. And I'm really good at taking things.
Period.
So you have to take, and I also learned that like I love hosting. That was something that I never thought that like would be up my alley. I say as I talk all the time, and I was told to be a good lawyer as a kid. Also, if you ever heard that as a kid, that means you were bitchy and love to argue. That's what that meant. I was told it as a kid a lot. But like there are things that I would have never known about myself if I had not put on the pink wig, if I had not been like, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going. Also, never be scared. I think people have this idea that, like, going back to like it's too much. You miss 100% of the opportunities you don't take.
Mhm.
You know, if you don't just message someone, if you don't apply for a show, the answer will always be no.
Yeah.
Like, I have had many a rejection from venues, from shows, from haunts, and that's fine. But if I had never been like, you know, my professional, hello, good evening, this is Buttons the Clown, I am interested in this, I would have never known. And then, you know, I got a lot of acceptance as well. Like, you know, if I had never been like, oh, well, let me just do glitter hour just once, I would probably be sitting on the couch eating Doritos right now. You know, like I think the most important thing to remember is that, like, and I think people are really self-conscious. I think that's what it is. It comes down to, like, queer people are so self-conscious because of the way we're bullied in society. I grew up as a chubby little redneck girl, and now I am a fat pink clown, and under the fat pink clown is some, like, fat goth boy. Like, you have to learn that, like, what you are, whatever you are, is okay. And that you have to have confidence. You have, like you said earlier, it's okay to be confident. It's okay to know things. It's okay to go, yes, I'm good at this specific thing. Let me help you.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay. Like, I take a lot of pride in knowing how to sing, like, technically. I take a lot of pride in knowing how to do my makeup. And so that I don't take pride in it because, oh, I look good, which I do. But, like, I don't take pride in it going, oh, I look good. I go, well, I know this skill. How can I transfer this to that baby queen who's, you know, who maybe needs a little help? And when she goes, hey, I don't know what to do here. Hi, thank you for asking. I get all my wigs from cosplay sites. I get my makeup from wherever is cheapest.
That's real.
I have had this fucking Lisa Frank palette that I use for buttons for, like, it's not even mine, it's Backstitches, and he's had it since college. So, like, you know, steal your husband's makeup. You know, it's just, and you don't have to have a lot of money. You don't have to be a certain type of person. You don't have to be skinny. You don't have to be white. You don't have to be AMAB or AFAB to do drag, especially clowning. And my goal is to start teaching classes, because, again, going back to, like, being an educator, is, like, teaching is the best way to get things done. You know, not just teaching makeup, but there's, like, a history of clowning that I think people skip over. There's a history of, like, doing drag as an AFAB person, and, like, where that fits in being also trans masculine, an AFAB person doing femme drag. Like, there's a lot of layers to that. And so I think by teaching, whether that be, like, character, marketing, branding, makeup, that would help this next generation of, like, you know, these little baby 20-year-olds coming in doing drag because all they've ever seen is Drag Race. And I'm not dissing Drag Race, but, and there's, like, a little laser on my forehead from RuPaul's agents. I'm not dissing Drag Race, but, like, when that's all you see and at the level that they're competing, I think sometimes we go, well, I'm not as good as Gottmik, or I'm not as good as Sasha Colby. Of course you aren't.
Yeah. Right.
Like, of course you aren't. I'm like, that is what it is. And that's okay. Like, this is local drag. Also, yeah, big advice. Don't take yourself too seriously. Stop doing that. Because if I were to be like, I am a serious drag artist, I would not be wearing that fucking pink clown suit. You know, I would not be wearing the little cow print set. Because why take yourself seriously when you can have fun? Like, take your art seriously. Be like, yes, I'm skilled. This is my skill. But if you are providing joy for people, like, if you're like, this is my thing, is I'm providing joy, or I'm providing this story. Like, I have a lot of group numbers planned for the circus that, like, push the lore, but not, like, too much to where it feels like an inside joke. I want people to look at it and go, I understand that Backstitch is the ringleader. That's his role in the circus. I understand that Buttons is kind of like this mastermind who's, like, trapped all these people. You know, I want people to look at that and go, I know what's happening here. I understand the lore that's going on. And, you know, we might be looking at putting a comic out soon. Who knows? Who knows?
That's exciting.
So then you can buy fan art of Buttons. You know, I always think about, like, someone asked me the other day, they're like, what would you do if someone bought a body pillow of Buttons? I said, I would sign it and ask them to hand me $100. What do you think I'd do?
No, for real.
Make sure you wash it first.
For real. I'm always thinking of stuff like that too. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. The branding brain, right?
I'm writing Coe in as we speak. You can find me on Instagram. All of my socials are Everybody Loves Buttons. Clearly. I have Instagram, which has underscores under every word. I have TikTok, same thing as well also. And if you feel like it, I might have an Only Clowns that you can find. That goes by the same name with no underscores, and it's only $5 to subscribe. And I know the clown girls are on trend. I know you want to see it. I know. And that's okay. Is it pink? Maybe. Does it have teeth? Absolutely.
Well, this has been amazing. Thank you for sitting down and like being with us and just being yourself. I don't know. I love your art. I love everything y'all do, like as a circus, and just like hearing the more behind the scenes of it and where everything originated just makes it all that much more enjoyable. So thank you for sharing that with us and also whoever's listening in the world. So
yeah, thank you for having me. Like it's I have like these like milestones in my head, and you know it's bad when I'm breaking character constantly. Like I try to stay in characters Buttons, but like when I'm talking to my friends or when I'm having like a real conversation, I don't want people to be like, oh, this mean bitch acts like this all the time. No, I'm just a girl. But yeah, like I have these milestones, and one of them was doing like an interview. And so when I first saw Queerolina, I was like, let me in. I'm rapidly approaching your location.
Hello, and thank you so much for listening to the Queer Vision Pod with Buttons. I'm sure you learned a lot, and I'm sure you laughed at least half the time. So thank you so much. Please go follow Buttons at Everyone Loves Buttons on everything, with the underscores between, unless you want the underscores not between, in which case go have fun. And don't forget to go to our website for everything, queerolina.org. You can find the magazine, you can find pictures, you can find our events. So, and you can find featured queers. So every single person we've interviewed, if you didn't find their information, it'll be there. Also, anybody who contributed to the magazine, it'll also be there. So thank you, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening to the Queer... Why did my head just completely blank on all words?
The queer... I was just thinking about something smells funny. I think your dog farted.
It definitely did. Okay. There has to be a blow-up couch from like the early 2000s.
Like the Five Below. They sell them at Five Below now. I'm pretty sure you can just steal it. Yeah. Pretty sure you can put it in your messenger bag. Yeah, Hot Topic where you like dig your hand in like the pin, the button thing, and you're like, oh yes, I want to buy this MCR t-shirt and nothing else. And like the employees definitely like, the 20-year-old employee's like who knows? But like, you know, you're 14 and you have a handful of black dollar pins. She's not going to do anything. Sorry, maybe that was a too niche of an experience.
Well, I didn't experience that exact one, but I did experience me and my little messenger hippie bag against the world at 14 years old. It was bad.
It's never too early to start stealing from Hot Topic, I guess. I will send them and I will relay it to our dear, stupid, pathetic little ringleader.
Gag.
Who I for everyone listening, me and Backstitch are married in real life. So just so you know everything I say about it, we are like actually IRL married. We got engaged at Katsucon as Morticia and Gomez, and then got married as them that Halloween. And we have tattoos that match of them, and then we have Demolition Lovers matching tattoos. I said, if this is gonna be forever, motherfucker, I need you to commit to the bit. You're not gonna punk me. You're not gonna punk me. But yeah, we're actually married, and Buttons and Backstitch aren't married though. They are contractually obligated to be around each other. But
that's fair.
You have to read the lore for that.
Yes,
I don't know. I don't know what I'll be doing. Hopefully, consuming some cream of some sorts. But for now, the boy under this is gonna go probably consume a fucking sandwich. I don't know.
Real.
Probably some sort of sandwich. No, I got ramen noodles. All right, well, I got the ramen to make.
See you later,
I'll
girl.
see y'all later.
And gone.